Hey everyone, I hope that you guys are having a great day. P.S. I'm gonna warn you real quick. We have company that's coming, and so my kids are currently sleeping in our bedroom. So if you hear their sound machine, I apologize. But hopefully you can't. Anyways, the makeup look that I'm showing you today is one that I'm excited about because it was specifically requested by my aunt. I recently had the privilege of doing her makeup right before my grandfather's memorial service, and it's funny because I got up early that morning and got myself ready. I had this feeling somebody was going to ask me to help them with their makeup, which is, I love doing that. It's kind of like our thing. I love helping people with makeup. Not that I'm like an expert, but still, I have fun with it. My aunt asked if I would do it, and I more than willingly said yes. She was so pleased with how it turned out, and all throughout the day I kept hearing people tell her, "Oh my gosh, you look beautiful." P.S. She's beautiful anyways. But people were intentionally coming to her and saying, "Wow, you look so gorgeous." And she was like, she kept looking at herself and going, "I really need to know what products you use." Oh, sorry. And so I was talking to her, and I was giving her like the list and the breakdown of the products and the brushes and all of that, and she was like, "Whoa, that's like overwhelming." And I understand how it can be for someone who's not necessarily accustomed to using different makeup than what they normally do. So I was like, let me create a tutorial for you. And I think this look would be one that many, many others would appreciate knowing how to create as well. Because if you're new to makeup or just are used to using like the same thing every single day, it might seem like a lot of products and a lot of information. So I'm intentionally doing this tutorial as though you've been accustomed to using like the same thing every day for like years, and I'm informing you and inviting you into a whole new world. But I am going to be throwing out a lot of names, but they are names that you need to remember because these products are amazing. And like I said, this is a look that you can incorporate into your new everyday makeup go-to routine. It's very simple, and yeah, so let's just get started. Clearly, I have no makeup on whatsoever. I apologize for anyone I might have scared with this face, but yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to prime. And I've mentioned this product before, and I will mention it probably many, many times again. But it is like my absolute favorite primer, and it is the Benefit Pore Professional Primer. So what you're going to do is just go ahead and put a little bit of it on your finger, about that much, and we're really just going to focus it on the T-zone, and like I have larger pores here and on my nose and here. So you'll put it on your T-zone and then on your nose and your inner cheeks. When you are putting this product on an area where you are aware that you have a bit, that your pores are a bit larger, what you want to do is like press it in instead of just like rubbing it in. You want to be sure to just press it into the pores. Alright, so because I'm using a powder foundation today, I'm going to go ahead and do my under eye concealer, and I'm using what I always use, which is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser, and it's the shade, it's the brightener. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that, and then use the Beauty Blender to blend it in. And as I told my aunt, when you're doing this part of the process, go ahead and just dab it onto your eyelids, and that can act as a primer for your eyeshadow. What I'm using is the Bare Minerals Original Foundation, and my shade is fairly medium, and it's the same shade I used on her. So if you have skin that looks about this tone, you can go ahead and order that. You can order any of the products from Ulta. That's probably like the quickest and easiest way if you're confident that your shades are going to be the same as mine. So what I'm going to do now is just pour a little bit of the foundation into the cap. And then I'm going to grab my e.l.f. Kabuki face brush, and I'm just going to grab a little bit of the foundation, dab it onto my face, and then blend it in. So there will probably be a little bit of product left in your lid. Just go ahead and dump it back into the container, close that up, and then we're gonna seal that. Woo, we're gonna seal that with the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil, and this is a very, very light veil, and I love that. I love feeling like I'm not covering my face and like caking it. Same thing. I'm pouring a little bit into the cap, and I'll be using the same brush and just applying that, focusing mostly on my T-zone again, which is this area, and then around my lips. But I will put a little bit all over my face. The next product that we are using is the e.l.f. Contouring Blush and Bronzer Duo, and I have like almost panned this. It's almost gone. But I'm going to grab I'm using specifically the Real Techniques blush brush, but any fluffy brush like this is going to do the trick. First we're going to grab the bronzer, blow off the excess, and then with bronzer, and especially if you're trying to keep the look very light and basic, you're just going to sweep it across your jawbone. And so that's exactly what I'm going to be doing right now. You don't want to bring it any further in than where the apple of your cheek begins. Alright, and then we're going to add just a little bit of that bronzer to our nose, right under your lips, and right on your temple. Alright, next I'll grab the blush part of this duo, and I'm using the e.l.f. Complexion brush. Same with the bronzer. Any fluffy brush that you have will work just fine. P.S. Aunt Connie, this is the brush that I used for both your blush and bronzer. So, I'm going to grab the blush, and I'm really going to go right back over where I applied the bronzer. Alright, so now we're moving on to eyeshadow, and the palette that I used on my aunt was the Lorac Pro palette, but I have a really great dupe that you could use and pretty much get the same look, and it's a lot more affordable, and that would be the NYX Wicked Dreams palette. So I'll show you what I used from the Lorac palette, and then I'll show you what you could use from the NYX palette if you want to save a little bit of money. They're both wonderful palettes. I love them equally, but I'm just looking to help you guys out if you are on a budget. So, for brushes, my aunt was kind of getting overwhelmed when I was explaining the brushes, you know, all the products. So, what I am using and what I used on her is the Sigma E40. You don't have to go and spend the money on a Sigma brush if you are not able to or don't want to. You could get a very nice brush at Target. They have great brushes. You can get Real Techniques, that brand. They have really nice fluffy brushes. You can purchase Real Technique brushes at Target or at Ulta. For my aunt, I combined the taupe and the gold, and that's what I'm going to be doing for this tutorial, but I will show you on the other palette what you could do as a dupe. You could combine this top color, or this top shade here. Sorry, I'm using my MacBook again. Sorry for the reflection. This top color here, and then this bottom color here, and create the same effect. So I'm going to go ahead and use taupe and gold from the Lorac palette, and just pick up a little bit, blow off the excess, and then you're just, without really thinking too hard about it, going to apply it all over your crease. And as I've said before, and as I told my aunt, I usually do about 2 applications of each step with my eyes, so I'm going to go ahead and do that a second time real quick. Okay, same thing on the other eye. Alright, next I'm grabbing my Sigma E55 brush, which is just a flat shading brush. And same like I said with the fluffy brush, any flat brush like this one is going to do just fine. What I did on her eyes was, for her lid, I used the nude shade here. And then as a duplicate on the NYX palette, you could use the second shade here on the top row if you're looking to do a duplicate. But I'm going to show you with the Lorac palette. I use the nude shade. You just pick a little bit up on your shading brush, and then we're just going to pat that onto the lid. Be sure to bring the color to your inner lid. Just that'll help brighten up your eyes a little bit. And like I said, I'm doing a second coat because that's just what I do. Okay, I am going to be using the white shade here on the top for the highlight under my brow, and it's pretty much up to you. You can use the same shade from the NYX palette as a dupe, the second one here on the top row, but I will be using the white shade, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that color, blow off the excess, and then apply that directly here under my brow. Alright, without grabbing any more color, I'm taking the big fluffy brush and I'm going back over my crease to make sure it's all blended well. Alright, I did on my aunt that day, I did do a little bit of an outer crease color. This is totally optional. You don't have to do this. If you want to keep it really simple, everyday, easy, you can stop here. Take a fluffy brush. I'm using the Sigma E25. You can even use the same fluffy brush that you use all over your crease. And what I used with her was the Garnet mixed with the Sable from the Lorac palette. And I just very lightly applied that on the outer lid and into the outer crease. Just keeping it, don't take it past the center of your lid. Alright, I'm taking the fluffy brush and I'm just going to blend that out right here. Just kind of using a circular motion, we're just making sure that it's blended and that there aren't any harsh lines. And then I am going to go back in with the eyelid shade and just apply that to my inner lid so that we make sure that our eyes stay bright. And again, I'm using the nude shade from the Lorac Pro palette. Before moving on, I'm going to take the kabuki brush and just wipe off underneath my eyes here in case any eyeshadow fell. Okay, so now I'm moving on to my eyebrows, and I always use this, but I'm just repeating myself for the sake of my aunt and for the sake of any of you who haven't ever watched my other tutorials. I'm using the Milani Brow Fix Brow Kit, and typically what I do is combine the two shades, but because I'm keeping it a very light look, I'm just using the lower shade here, and I'm using a small angled brush. This is an e.l.f. angled brush, and like I said, e.l.f. can be found at Target. So we're just going to go ahead and start applying that, and I'm not doing it the same way that I normally do. I'm just going to apply it very lightly and quickly over my natural brow. So at this point, what I'm going to do is use my NYX Dewy Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray, and I'm just going to spray this all over, and that will hold the look in place. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my mascara, and I'm not going to film this part because it's totally up to you as to what mascara you use. It really doesn't make a difference. It's your preference. I'm not going to film this, but I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will finish up. So I did my mascara and I went ahead and put on my lipstick. Lipstick choice is totally up to you. I used the Wet n Wild Mauve Outta Here, and it's a rose color, and it's by Wet n Wild. So yeah, you can do whatever you want with your lips. But this completes the look. This completes the tutorial for you, Aunt Connie, and for you, whoever else may be watching. I hope that it all made sense. If not, please ask me any questions and I'll explain further on my blog. I'll list what brushes I used, what products I used, where I used the products, and where you can get the products. I'm just going to make it really straightforward for you. But even still, if you have any questions, email me, comment below. I hope that it made sense. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you all again here soon. Have a great day. Bye.